Folks, if you're dying for a drink, this refurbished old funeral home just might be the spot. This is Brewery Vivant, the world's first LEED certified European-style microbrewery, and it's unlike anything else in Beer City, USA, Grand Rapids, Michigan. I'm sitting down with co-founder Jason Spaulding, who went from launching New Holland to building something smaller, stronger, sustainable, and unique. We're talking beer, business lessons, and what it takes to thrive in a city literally packed with breweries. So sit back, crack one open, and let's dive in. Folks, welcome back to another episode of The Locals. My name is Ryan Gladshofer, and I'm spotlighting courageous entrepreneurs. And today, we're in Grand Rapids, Michigan, because in my opinion, locals is relative. We can spotlight other small businesses that are doing great things, not just in Chicago, but in other culturally rich areas. So please join me in welcoming Jason from Vivant Brewery in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Jason, thanks for your time today. I appreciate it.
Right on.
What inspired you to start Vivant Brewery?
I had a job that had to wear a tie, right? And I just was like so miserable. When I left, I went to a brewing school in Munich. In starting New Holland, it was literally like me and my buddy right out of college. The only thing we had going for us was passion. My wife and I wanted to do something together. We focused on starting a European-style brewery. Her driving force is sustainability. We ended up being the first LEED certified brewery in the country. We toured around all these little breweries in France and Belgium. In Germany, I love the communal seating. The ambiance here, stained glass is really, really cool. It's these archways.
Why in a refurbished funeral home? Knowing the space that this used to be, is there a lot of dark jokes here?
There are, yeah. Our opening servers thought it'd be funny to tell people that our tables were made out of old coffins that were left here.
Oh, that's so not cool.
And now, like, I swear, it's like 15 years into it, and people ask us about the coffin tables. We made them out of old barn wood. Came out of Fenville, 100-year-old wood. It's super dense. It's great.
Vivant, what does that mean?
Vivant means to be alive.
Which is quite ironic because this is in a refurbished funeral home.
Yeah, totally.
Did you have other spots that had potential?
Back in 2009, there was a downturn in the economy.
That's right, the recession.
Yeah, it was the same time that we're trying to secure this building and make all these things happen. And it said for sale, but then it wasn't available.
Teasing you a little bit?
Teased us a little bit. We walked in here like, oh my God, this should fit our business plan perfectly. Long story short, we lost it. Another developer tied it up. But when I got home, I got a phone call. You want to open a brewery in this building? This had been empty, I think 8 years before we moved in. The last black eye of the neighborhood. So I had to buy it from them.
With the recession, what gave you the guts to continue going even when literally everything was crashing?
We just wanted to make it happen so hard. You get this one opportunity. If we missed this chance in this building, do we ever get that back? Part of being entrepreneurial is if you knew how much trouble it would be, you wouldn't even start. I'll see something and immediately have a vision for it and just kind of go for it. I figure if you're in the water swimming, you'll figure out how to make it work. Force you to do it.
Does your wife share that as well?
Not so much. So that makes her a little uncomfortable. I'm like the idea person, and she's like the practical person. I'll come with 100 ideas. She'll kill 90 of them.
That's uplifting.
But then the strong ones survive, right? We make it work.
Grand Rapids is known for all the breweries and microbrewing. How the heck do you stand out?
We all know each other. Are we competing? Sure, we are on some level.
To an extent, but you can also collaborate and help each other mutually.
If some other person's stupid enough as I am to start a brewery, we're kind of stick together.
Stupid enough? It's a little harsh.
If you don't have the passion for it, it's not as financially rewarding as people think it is from the outside. There's a lot that goes into it, and we're not doing it for money.
So what do you do it for?
I do it just for the love of beer, that community part. I spend a lot of time thinking about that. Does the world need another brewery? They're like the fabric of the community. A lot of times the beers are named for something in the neighborhood, and they have a local flair. My wife's that sustainability piece. Business is a force of good, trying to do good by our staff and employees.
How do you do good?
I read this book before we started this brewery. It's called Small Giants, talking about it's not how much money you make that makes you a good company. It's being good to your employees, building something in your community. And that's what drives us.
Making it the heart of the business.
Yep.
That's literally what this entire show is about.
Perfect. With this triple bottom line thinking, it's also called the 3 Ps. So we weigh profit, planet, and then people, all the environmental aspects. Can we get it locally? Can we get it organic? And then how does it affect the people around us? We try to give equal weight to those things, and we're also open book. We share all this with our staff with the hopes that they help hold us accountable. The classic business model just looks at profit. Make this as cheap as possible and sell it for the highest price.
Would you say that there was a moment very early on that you're like, I don't know if this is gonna work?
My head might be screaming with all the worries. You just go for it. It's gonna work and it's gonna be awesome. There's ups and downs, but if I take the average of everything, never a doubt.
I read that you're actually a B Corp, not an LLC. LLC, and that's a new one on me. Can you explain what a B Corp is?
It's a benefit corp. Technically, it's illegal here in Michigan, so we are an LLC, but in other states, you can be a B Corp as your actual business structure. So we had to mimic that to make it work. It's like a third-party certification. This looks at how we treat people, the pay scale. CEO can only make a certain percentage of the lowest paid person. The tagline of B Corp is, your business is a force of good. So how can you run a for-profit company that's actually good for everyone? Once a year, we go through this whole process where we get reviewed. It's a little painful, especially when you think you're doing things really well. This helps us become better, that's great.
So two-part question. One, what is your favorite beer that you have here? And two, what is the best seller?
You know, you're not supposed to have like a favorite beer. It's like you're not supposed to have a favorite child.
No?
But I
That doesn't start fights, does it?
No. We fell in love with beers that have no category. Americans like to categorize stuff.
We do?
Yeah. They just
Well, shame on us.
I know, right?
You know, it kind of reminds me almost like music has to have its own specific genre, but maybe
Yeah.
it's the artist that defines their own music.
Right? Yeah, why do you have to define it? This farmhand, the first beer ever made, and it's modeled off a beer from my trip. Farms used to serve their workers like a low alcohol beer because they didn't understand what was happening, but they drink the water, people get sick. They drink beer, they don't get sick. We use local unmalted wheat in that beer.
Okay.
And it holds off. It's like 5.5%, and it's just super refreshing. It's kind of light and citrusy. It's got a Belgian character, but not too much. I love that it's still like our #1 seller.
Your logo, I find it very fascinating. Where did was it a rooster, a chicken, and where did that come from?
In that southern part of Belgium, Wallonia, the rooster is their emblem. So we kind of adapted that into our logo.
It's one hell of a
Yeah.
Thus far in this journey, what has been your proudest moment?
My wife was like 9 months pregnant when we finally opened.
No pressure.
Yeah. Highly recommended. Our kitchen wasn't live yet, so we had no food. We had 3 beers, no internet, no phones, so it was like cash only, and there was like a line down the street. Like people were excited about it. It was awesome. Remember like not really thinking anyone would show up.
How did you spark that demand?
You know, it's 2010, not many things were opening, I think because of the economy. We picked up our license from Lansing and opened that afternoon and just kind of trickled it out there, and somehow people heard about it.
When you first started out, what did you offer initially food-wise, and what was the reaction to it, and how did you pivot accordingly?
You'd say brew pub and people think, oh great, you know, hot wings, pizza, and French fries. When we opened, we found like a really talented chef. He was from New York. So we had like duck confit, pate, rabbit on the menu. Their eyes are open, they're like, what is this? So we actually got a lot of like hate emails back because people were shocked and disappointed because they thought they were gonna get a pizza. It took like 6 months, and then that was the thing that people talked about. It caught them by surprise so much that we became probably more famous for our food than we did even for the beer.
Did you ever think about changing that menu initially when you got some hate?
I did. You know, I wasn't prepared for that. You know, I didn't think people would be getting people so upset. You can't be everything to everyone.
No.
Because people all have their own set of expectations, so you have to take a little bit of a chance.
As we wrap up, what would be your advice to aspiring entrepreneurs?
If you can do something you're passionate about, man, that makes life so much better. And I meet a lot of entrepreneurs that are trying to do everything safely and have it defined, but to really do it, at some point you got to dive in and take a risk. But I think it's worth it.
And this interview was absolutely worth it. I did not think that we were going to pull this off. I know that you're an incredibly busy person. Thank you for your time today. The key in Grand Rapids is microbrewing and breweries, and I think this is a wonderful representation of that. It means a lot to me.
Awesome. I appreciate it too.
And folks, that does it for another episode of The Locals. Interested in more content like this? You know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Folks, a cheers to you guys for watching. Cheers to Jason for his time. Cheers to Peter, a longtime friend, for helping me with camera work. We'll see you next time. Cheers, fellas.
Beer City, USA.
Cheers.
Cheers.